Welcome, everybody, yet another episode of the Wrestling vs. World podcast. If you're enjoying your day, sweet. If not, then what the hell ever. So today, there was a subject that I wanted to cover. It's not going to be the last Shawn Michaels themed episode I want to cover, but I wanted to finally go over his first WWF Championship run that he had from WrestleMania 12 up until Survivor Series of that year. The ups and the downs and stuff like that with booking and all that. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to backtrack a slight bit. Going to go over the Royal Rumble too, because I want to give that path to all this. So it started in the 96 Royal Rumble. Shawn was coming back from this concussion and everything, because he had gotten a concussion beforehand, like a few months prior to the Royal Rumble, because of the whole Marine incident. And now it seemed like he collapsed. Oh, could the future of Shawn Michaels be in jeopardy? Well, he got in the 96 Royal Rumble and last eliminated Diesel, and he wins back-to-back Royal Rumble matches. Second man to ever do that behind Hogan. So now he was getting this shot at the WWF Championship coming up at WrestleMania, and he also retained it the following month at In Your House, Rage in the Cage, by defeating Owen Hart. Great match there, by the way. So now you get to WrestleMania. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels main event, and it's going to be a 60-minute Iron Man match. Decisions can end via pinfall, submission, countout, disqualification. Whoever gets the most decisions at the end of the 60-minute time limit is the winner. Now, this is one of the most polarizing matches in terms of fan reception here. I'm in that camp that says this match was great, but I would not rank this as 5 stars, as indicated in the past episode where I talk about matches that I give 5 stars to. This match, if I had to give it a star rating, I'd give it 4 out at best, because it's it told a great story of both men not being able to best each other even after an hour, ends in a 0-0 draw. But it's you spend a lot of the time just even with a load of rest holds to make the match feel like it went on forever. A lot of the submission holds that Shawn was even doing on Bret was to his left arm, and then Bret completely no-sold it the rest of the match, so it was wasted effort. But if I wanted to think of better Iron Man matches, 60-minute variations, I would go more to Triple H versus The Rock from 2000, or even Kurt Angle versus Brock from 2003. Those two I prefer over this one. But, this was still at least a great main event, and afterwards, Shawn did win in overtime. It's 0-0 draw. We have to have a winner, so first one you get a decision after the time limit ends, which Bret was not happy about. Whoever does that is champion, and Shawn gets 2 back-to-back Sweet Chin Musics to become the new champion. Great overall achievement, and of course that entrance coming down the zip line, absolutely amazing. And the whole heartbreak, the boyhood dream has come true for the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. You never forget that line, too. So now Shawn is a champion, and Bret disappears from television in the meantime because he's taking most of the year off. And now he's got to have all these new feuds going on. So you go In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies in April. He's going against Diesel, who has gone from a tweener to a full-blown heel by attacking Shawn. Best friends now turn enemies. Diesel's not happy that he's no longer champion and everything, going back to the prior year. So now they're going to be having this big match, which is the last big match for Diesel prior to him leaving for WCW. Shawn Michaels Diesel main event, no holds barred, and this match actually exceeded their match from WrestleMania the year prior. At least there wasn't a botched jackknife powerbomb or anything, but it's you had table break, you had Mad Dog Vachon's prosthetic leg being used as a weapon. Both men really threw a lot at each other, and this match was absolutely freaking awesome. And Shawn, with regular Sweet Chin Music from his own boot, not from Mad Dog Vachon, would get the decisive victory over Diesel and retain the WWF Championship. That already, at least in terms of match quality and everything, that's a terrific start for the championship reign. Then you get to the feud going on against the British Bulldog for In Your House, Beware of Dog and King of the Ring. Because going into the whole thing going on into In Your House, Beware of Dog, it pretty much implied that, hey, Shawn Michaels is trying to go after the British Bulldog's wife. It's oh, you're going after my wife. I'm the Bulldog. You don't touch Diana. It's that. It feels a little weird that they're doing the storyline saying that a babyface is going after another man's wife. I know in real life by the next year Shawn will be going after Sunny, who was Chris Candido's girlfriend. But it's weird to try to give these allegations saying a babyface is causing riffles in a marriage. Usually you would have a heel being accused of that. It's oh, boo, how dare you try to break up a marriage and everything. The sympathy card there is all weird. But thankfully, they had a match at In Your House Beware of Dog, and I've talked about this a little bit on the episode where I talked about the pay-per-view. This was one of only 2 matches that happened on the main card due to the power outage and everything. But the match ends in a draw because of a German suplex by Shawn Michaels, double pin. So technically, because of a draw decision like this, the champion retains. But that doesn't cover it, because now we also then have to go afterwards to King of the Ring, getting a rematch, and we got Mr. Perfect being the special guest referee. And at the end, Shawn Michaels also retained here too, this time by pinfall on his own, because switch in music, Mr. Perfect got yanked out as referee, but Earl Hebner still got the count. So Shawn retained against the British Bulldog. I mean, like, I don't have very vivid memories of these 2 matches and everything, but I mean, you probably best remember their match from One Night Only the next year, because of the whole controversy and everything. But I mean, this stuff worked. Now, you get to stuff that then gets a little bit weird, because In Your House International Incident in July. 6-man tag, Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson, and they're supposed to team with the Ultimate Warrior, but Warrior left, so they're replacing with Psycho Sid, the ruler of the world, versus Camp Cornette being Vader, British Bulldog, and Owen Hart in a 6-man tag. So, a rare time where we don't actually see the WWF Championship being defended on a pay-per-view during this period. And at the end, Vader actually pinned Shawn to really start up their one-on-one feud. I mean, but like, the only thing you probably remember from this International Incident pay-per-view, you might remember where Shawn was coming down the aisleway, like, with fans and everything, and the barricade collapsed while Shawn was making his entrance. Because fans were like, oh, yay, too much weight, collapse. But then this becomes a pivotal point where you get to the feud with Vader, and you get SummerSlam happening. And we all know the problems that happened there, because Shawn was not fond of working with Vader, and his real-life attitude started to come out a little bit. And this was also during a period where the company was not doing as hot as WCW, because now the NWO is going on. So it's like Shawn has to kind of step up his game, bring up intrigue to this company, because now you got something white hot going on since the previous month from WCW, so everything's got your back. But now SummerSlam's going on, he has a match with Vader, he's not fond of Vader having this strong, like, kind of stiff style and everything, which, I mean, yeah, it's understandable. You're not going to want somebody legit punching you like hard in the face or anything like that. But you had the botch spot where Shawn Michaels went for the elbow drop and Vader forgot to move. But Shawn laid on his feet, stomped on his head. He's like, move! Move! So it's like his real life attitude is bleeding out despite the fact he's supposed to be a good guy. And they do this cluster finish where it's just like, ends via disqualification, restarted, count out, just restart, and then it ends via pinfall. So it's like, it's a bit too clustered. Like, I know they would kind of run that back 13 years later for Cena and Randy Orton SummerSlam 09, but it's just like, it's a bit too clustered where it's just like, restart. Even if you're trying to keep the heel strong and everything, protect them and everything, just this constant thing where it's just like, we gotta keep going. It's not really the most fun thing. But Shawn would get the win on Vader, and that would kind of abruptly end their feud. I mean, I know it kind of bled over to the next pay-per-view a little bit, but in terms of a one-on-one match, they would not have another one again, and I'll get to that again in just a bit. Then you get to September at In Your House Mind Games. He goes against Mankind, the sadomasochist. Managed by Paul Bearer. This, was I can definitely say I gave this also a 5-star rating to. The clash of these styles and how they added, a bit of a no-holds-barred feel to it despite it not being that was absolutely fantastic between Mick Foley and Shawn Michaels. Even when they went diving off the top all the way through the announcer table, fantastic moment there. And Shawn, even just running off a chair that was planted and giving, a 1-foot, jumping sweet chin music to Mankind, who's on the top rope, too, at another point in the match. Love that, too. And I think they mistimed the finish a little bit, because then Shawn was going for the pin on Mankind, then he got up and saw Vader was coming up and brawl and ended disqualification. But, I mean, the match still works. 5-star match. Not a whole lot of champions can say that with the long reign they've got a 5-star match within their title reign there. And then, of course, the casket. There's a casket at ringside. Open up. Oh, here's The Undertaker. He's going to keep feuding with Mankind, and Shawn's brawling with Vader. But that doesn't lead to anything, because they were supposed to have the match at Survivor Series for the championship, but because Shawn didn't want to work with Vader anymore and all that stuff, things changed. So then, In Your House Buried Alive, there was no televised, on pay-per-view match for Shawn. In fact, let me look up when. I know he had a match post-show. Yep. Instead, he faced Goldust in the dark match after the show. I believe this might be on one of the Attitude Era DVDs, or somewhere out there. But he defended the title against Goldust after In Your House Buried Alive, because that main event was Undertaker Mankind in the Buried Alive match. But he retained against Goldust. I'm not really going to comment on there because people know my thoughts on the Man in Gold. But like there was another rare time where you didn't even see the title on the line on the main card, or even the champion being on the show, at least televised. Then you get to Survivor Series. I almost forgot. Buried Alive also, you had Vader, Psycho Sid. It was a singles match, and then it became winner becomes number one contender for the WWF Championship, and that's where Psycho Sid won to then take Vader's place for the originally planned match at Survivor Series. So now it's Shawn Babyface, Psycho Sid heel going into Survivor Series Madison Square Garden, and the crowd is flipped here. Because even though they're in Madison Square Garden, the WWE's big backyard, they cheer for Sid, despite the fact that he's essentially the heel here. And Shawn's babyface champion, it's kind of understandable that they're not going to gravitate towards him because look, I know it's 5 to 6 months prior to this they did the whole thing that I just criticized with the whole thing with Bulldog's wife and everything like that, saying, "Oh, you're trying to mess with my wife." But it's just weird there. And then the other feuds, it's yeah, you had quality matches, but it's some of these builds did not really draw you in to really get behind Shawn in a way. Because yeah, you got behind him at Royal Rumble because hey, he's trying to not end his career, the concussion and everything. And then WrestleMania, boyhood dream comes true, once and for all. Then going against his best friend Diesel, who became enemy there. But then again, then you just mentioned the Bulldog stuff. The stuff with Vader was a little weird. Mankind match was awesome and everything, but then Champion wasn't there the next pay-per-view, and then Survivor Series, the mixed reaction here. People booing Shawn. The only thing you probably easily remember right off the bat from even this match, Shawn Michaels jumping off the top for an axe handle, eats the boot, and then just upside down flips into a tree, kind of selling there. But Sid, after attacking Jose Lothario, would then give Shawn the powerbomb in the ring after hitting him with the camera, and then became the new WWF Champion and the true ruler of the world. So yeah, this, look, I know I'm kind of torn about, critiquing this and everything, because, look, anybody knows Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time, but, and yeah, he had some, incredible matches during this WWF Championship run, but when you also look at the storylines and the bookings and everything, they didn't do anything while he was champion to really draw in the ratings and give people to care, compared to what was going on with the birth of the NWO and WCW. I mean, maybe if this was 99 or something, with Shawn being champion if he wasn't injured, compared to 99 WCW with the NWO, it would be a different thing. But unfortunately, this was 96 when WCW's yeah, we gotta be white hot and actually be competitive. Because we know how 95 was. But yeah, like I said, I can give credit to Shawn. He pulled on some of the best matches that year, being champion and everything, because, like I said, match at WrestleMania was great, not the best, compared to other Iron Man matches I mentioned. Match with Diesel was fantastic. You had really good matches with Bulldog and everything, but people probably remember One Night Only the next year more than this. Match with Vader at SummerSlam was great, but you still remember more for the politics and the drama. Mind Games was an amazing match with Mankind, and you had a great match here with Psycho Sid at Survivor Series, but you probably remember more, like I said, for that weird selling moment and the inverted crowd reaction. But let me know in the comment section below, what did you all think about Shawn Michaels' WWF Championship run that he had there in 96? Because, I know he was a 3-time WWF champion, and this was his longest reign. And at least this title reign didn't start with controversy and everything compared to his third reign, but I don't know, it's you have to have more than just great matches in here to really draw in the crowd and give people reason to care. Because, like I said, with the mixed reaction you saw there at the end, not the most selling thing. I mean, yeah, he would redeem himself with the crowd reaction he would get there in Texas at Royal Rumble when he won the title back from Psycho Sid, but that's kind of expected with a lot of guys when you're in your home state or even your hometown. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's episode of the podcast, folks, please remember, leave a like, subscribe with the bell turned on here on YouTube, comment what you thought below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, and good day, everybody.